Welcome to Cross Border Interviews, the show where we dive into the insights of municipal political leaders from across Canada. Now, our mission on this show is quite simple. It is to shine a light on the dedicated individuals who day in and day out work around the council table to shape the communities that we and they call home. And on this edition of the show, we bring you coverage from Victoria, British Columbia, where last month, the 2025 Union of BC Municipalities Convention brought together delegates from every corner of British Columbia. Among those we had the pleasure to chat with was District of Clearwater Councillor Ken Matheson. In the heart of every thriving community lies a well-crafted strategic plan. But crafting such a plan requires expertise, experience, and a deep understanding of local needs. Enter Strategic Steps, your partner in municipal strategic planning. Strategic Steps' team of experts have years of experience in municipal administration. At Strategic Steps, they just don't develop plans. They co-create homegrown strategies tailored to your unique community. They listen, they collaborate, they empower your community to thrive. Contact Strategic Steps today and take the first step towards a brighter future for your municipality. Call Strategic Steps at 780-416-9255 or visit strategicsteps.ca to get started.
Councillor Ken, thank you so much for chatting with me today in beautiful British Columbia, downtown Victoria at UBCM. As this is your first time on the show, I've got to start with a simple question.
Go ahead.
Where's your sense of duty to serve your community come from, Ken?
Well, it's, I've always been very involved with community events and things but politics were not on my bingo card.
I like how all politicians municipally say it's never on my bingo card, but here we are.
Yeah, exactly it. And we had an event that happened in our community where a certain group was bent on taking over our community and the council, and I just said I can't deal with this. I need to step up onto the plate on this and push back, and that's how I got involved in politics. And it's just that sense of fairness, representing the underserved voices, the vulnerable people in our community, and protecting them and giving them a voice.
How do you represent the underserved part of the community? Because you're there to represent everyone, right? Underserved, overserved, middle served. How do you do that in the District of Clearwater to ensure that everyone feels like they're being serviced municipally correctly?
Well, it is a big job, and it is important to serve everybody within the community equally.
Yeah.
There's a certain segment of the community that does not have that same voice, does not have the same empowerment or the confidence to come forward and partake in the system for fear of retribution or some sort of racist reason. And for me, that's a personal thing, and I feel they deserve to have their voices brought up to that level.
And do you feel like you can do that effectively in 2025 with everything that goes on in the world, with us being so polarized?
I do, and I think that's why it's more important than ever to stand up with them.
Agreed,
and
wholeheartedly.
work with them on it. Because in this polarization, they get put down, they get hidden. We did have an event in our community where the LGBTQ community was viciously attacked by a far-right group or a racist group, homophobic group, and effectively they kind of went back into hiding because they had that sense of fear. And to me, it's about having people in our community that are accepted, that they feel safe, they have a caring community, and part of a place to stay, a place to call home.
And, okay, we all have our own moral compass that we believe is what is right and what is wrong in society. But as a councillor, you're there to represent everyone. And I hate to say this because I think it's the worst thing, but you even have to represent the people who are homophobic, the ones who are racist. You have to be able to listen to them. Even though you may disagree with them wholeheartedly, how hard is that part of your job to ensure that everyone feels like they're at least being represented by you, even though you may vehemently disagree with what they stand for?
Totally, and it's a hard line. For me, it's.
Have you found the balance yet?
Not really.
I joke.
I think if they're coming to the table with solutions,
yeah,
I can work with them. coming to the table with nothing but anger and with anger,
Yeah.
and wanting to destroy institutions versus offering solutions. If they come to the table with solutions that are reasonable and we can work together on, I have no problem with it. If it involves any sort of hate talk, racism, anything like that, I don't have time for it. I have
And
better
it's
things
a
to
small
do.
portion. I should clarify that because I'm assuming it's not all of the District of Clearwater.
No, we've got a great community.
Yeah.
Like, our community is probably one of the most caring ones in BC. I've seen it time and time again where we've been struck with tragedy or something within the community, and they all pull together, help people with home that have lost their homes in fires, things like that. It's an amazing community for that. But there's that small segment, the loud segment, that seems to override all these other voices, and they get the airtime. They get to go on social media and don't care what they say. They just viciously attack. And those are the people that I have zero time for.
I agree wholeheartedly on that. I want to turn to UBCM, and that the reason why you're here. From your standpoint, as a councillor for the District of Clearwater, what brings you to Victoria this fine week? What advocacy issues are you bringing forward to the table this week?
Well, there's a number of different ones. Clearwater's faced with a number of different problems. The big one, of course, that all the communities in BC are dealing with right now is infrastructure problems, aging infrastructure. Inability to grow because we can't add on. We don't have the money. I mean, District of Clearwater's got a $4 million tax base. We need about $50 million just for our infrastructure to upgrade it to service our immediate community, let alone expand. And in that regard, we have a large mine, Tasco, that is coming into our community, which will effectively double the size of our community instantly.
Do you have the housing to supply that extra double?
We don't. I mean, in the community right now, we've got about 1,100 homes. That will be effectively doubled if Tasco comes into the community within anywhere from next 4 to 11 years. And we simply don't have the infrastructure to support that. We need help from the province and from the federal government to help with the infrastructure so we can get ahead of the process before we're suddenly faced with it.
Are you hearing solutions? Because you just said, if you come to me with solutions, I'll work with you. Does the District of Clearwater have solutions that, besides money, because everyone's asking for money and the province will say, we're broke, we don't have enough, we're already giving you enough. What's the solution that the province can do with the District of Clearwater to address the housing shortage right now?
Well, I think what we're doing right now with this particular issue is we've made them aware of it.
Yeah.
And I think that's been a big step, is saying we need to work together with Tasco, with the mining industry, with the province, with First Nations, the Simp people, and around a table and get this going before it's too late. The whole purpose of this was to bring it to their attention, saying this is coming at you. And it may take 4 years, it could take 10 years, but we don't know. But we have to have help with it. We cannot do it on our own. And the assurances we got back from them, yes, we need to work together, and we'll keep everybody in the loop, and we recognize it now, and we'll move forward. So there's no firm commitments on anything, but I think at least we've made awareness of it.
So what does District of Clearwater do in the short term? Because a commitment, we heard you, is great. Action is another thing. And I'm going to burst your bubble. Friday, David Evy's not going to get up on stage and say, guess what, District of Clearwater, here's a big giant check to deal with infrastructure. What do you do when you get back to the district to ensure that housing stays a priority and you move forward? Because if you don't start yesterday, 2 years when it's an issue, it's going to be massive compared to what it could be if you don't start today.
Oh, that's been our nightmare that we've been dealing with. We're just in the process of redoing our official community plan. And my take on it is let's plan like the mine's not coming. And
Really?
Yeah. Let's move forward with our housing, with what we can do with what we've got right now. And when the mine's a reality, then we can start working with it. Right now, how do we plan? I mean, how do you plan in something that isn't committed yet? I mean, they're moving ahead in the environmental assessment progress, but I've seen so many mines that have gotten to a certain point and it's done. So for me, it's until that shovel is in the ground, it's not happening.
And even if the shovel's in the ground, who knows how long it's going to take, right?
Exactly. So I encourage the community that we need to move forward our official community plan in a way that is sustainable what we have now, with a vision for our community, focusing on what we can do economically to keep something moving and keep growth going in the community. And if the mine comes into place, well, so much better. Then we have high-paying jobs, we have a bigger tax base, hopefully. it'll all happen. So there's this balancing act between how do we prepare for the housing that we're going to need, and how do we move forward with our OCP, knowing it's not a certainty. So we're stuck in this kind of a limbo thing. And I said,
So why move forward with the community plan then? Because I can imagine, I know you must have one, but if it's so up in the air, how can you build? How can you make how can you make something that you don't know what the outcome is going to be because you don't know what the government is going to say to you?
That's what we've been wrestling with, and that's why I say.
Like, do you feel like you're hitting your head against the wall?
Well, not so much a head against the wall. It's just how do we make a decision in what we're going to do now? And to me, in a leadership position, the only time you make a bad decision is if you make no decision at all. And
can I quote you on that?
You can. Yeah.
Because I would like to give that quote to every single provincial and federal politician, because the amount of times that I don't get actual decisions from them is just mind-boggling.
And I think that's why us as municipal leaders of the district of Clearwater, we need to make that decision. And making that decision with what we've got that's tangible, our tax base, and where we're going is really key. And by focusing on the OCP, pretending the mine's not coming, we've made a decision.
What does your community feel about the mine coming, though? Like, are they in favor of it, or are they apprehensive because they'll see the growth and the challenges that come with growth?
Like anything, you're going to have people that are against it, climate change.
Breaking the news right here, right now. Everyone's not agreeing on everything. What are you talking about, Councillor?
Exactly. And it's people are super excited about the economic values it'll bring to our community.
Yeah.
I mean, it'll effectively double our community. It'll bring more amenities to our community. There's challenges involved with it: hospitals, schools, policing, infrastructure, housing needs. It just goes on and on and on. And I think there's a huge opportunity there. The people in the community are excited about having, average paying jobs of $150,000 a year. I mean, basically, we're a town that's lost all of our sawmills, so we're struggling. And this is something that's out there. It's like they're hanging on to it and hoping that it's going to happen. The other side of the coin then is working with the First Nations. Their priority is water, land, resources, animals, and trying to find that balance in there between the environmental assessment and all that. So it's a balancing act, there's no question.
Do you feel the District of Clearwater is set up for a good future, though? Because it sounds like we're being very pessimistic. Let's try and be a little bit more optimistic. Are you set up for a good future?
Yes.
Okay.
Even without the mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think by focusing on our community plan and where we're going this year, and developing what we already have. I mean, we have a massive tourism market, and we have Wellsgrave Park right next door. We have amazing forests, recreation things around us, and I think focusing on things like this, trying to attract more small industry, small business to the community, is key to giving us that solid foundation. The mine would be the cherry on the top.
Always the cherry. Need a cherry. Good Sunday with a good cherry. I want to turn back to UBCM for a second. What is the benefit you as a councillor get from attending these conferences that you can go back to the District of Clearwater, to the people who've elected you, and say, this is what we accomplished this week? Because I can imagine once you get back, you'll hear the same thing that I hear from every corner of the country. Oh, it's just a group of politicians getting together and partying and drinking and having fun and not spending the taxpayers' dollars. What is the tangible item that you look at and you say, this is why we come here?
It's delivering the message to the ministers and putting us on the map with the ministers and having these face-to-face meetings. I mean, it's invaluable. Being able to look at somebody across the table, put a face to the name, have a few jokes together, and lay out what we require. And getting that, it's all about relationship building. And the other huge benefit that I've had down here in this past week is meeting people in the hallways, having coffee, talking about different concerns, a lot of information and workshops, all that stuff. But the real work happens in the hallways, running into them in the bathroom, all these kind of things.
Those are where the best decisions are made, the bathroom.
Best decisions, the most honest conversations.
So from a District of Clearwater perspective, would you say the same thing, that it is beneficial for the district to be part of the union?
Totally. Without a common voice to the government, it's just a voice in the wind.
Yeah.
coming together in solidarity and presenting our needs from the District of Clearwater and the Simpcw First Nations. I mean, we signed a memorandum of understanding with all the communities in the North Thompson, from McBride to Valemont to Barrier to Clearwater, and we have signed a memorandum of understanding with the Simpcw First Nations that we speak as one voice for the entire valley, and that has brought spades to the table because we're able to kind of go to BC Hydro and to all the other entities out there and speak as one group in a massive area on the Simpcw traditional territory and work together to bring improvement. And we bring that same group of people, that same coalition to the table down here, and it's huge.
Awesome. Councillor Ken,
Thank
pleasure's mine to sit down with you and chat.
Yeah,
Thank you so
anytime.
much. I will take you up on that, man. Don't say that to me because I will take that up on you.
Thank you for tuning in for another edition of Cross Border Interviews. Now, we hope you've enjoyed the conversation and gained some valuable insights from the most recent Union of British Columbia Municipalities Convention in beautiful downtown Victoria, BC, and from today's guests. To stay in the loop with all the latest episodes, don't forget to subscribe to the show on your favorite podcast platform, or if you're watching this on YouTube, hit that subscribe button today. Now, for even more content and learn more about the people and the communities that we feature on this show and our sister shows, visit us online at crossbordernetwork.ca. Your support means the world to us. So share this episode with your friends, your family, and yes, even your community, and help keep the conversation going. Until next time, stay informed, stay engaged, and we will be back with a brand new episode of Cross Border Interviews shortly. Till then, everyone.